Today, we're diving straight into petrodollars, a crucial concept in the world of oil trade. Petrodollars refer to the US dollars earned by countries from exporting oil. While it sounds like a special currency, it's just the same US dollars everyone knows. These dollars are crucial for nations rich in oil, linking them closely with global trade.
Right. Although petrodollars are dollars paid for oil, they aren't a unique or separate currency. Instead, they're the accepted form of payment for oil exports. This custom of using US dollars reflects the preferences of many global oil exporting countries and makes oil trade convenient thanks to the dollar's international presence.
In 2023, worldwide oil production reached around 96 million barrels each day. At an average price of $85 per barrel, this amounts to about $2.98 trillion in petrodollars yearly. That's a significant supply of US dollars flowing into the economies of oil-exporting nations.
Yes, indeed. We're talking about key players in the oil exporting community like OPEC countries, as well as others like Russia, Qatar, and Norway. These nations rely heavily on petrodollars as a primary source of revenue and wealth, playing integral roles in their economies.
In our last discussion, we touched on the substantial influence of petrodollars in global economies. Now let's explore how these dollars are often recycled. The US dollar stands as the premier investment currency worldwide. This means oil exporting countries view it as the most convenient way to store their wealth. Its global acceptance allows these countries to invest their earnings in various assets, thereby amplifying their financial strength.
Exactly. A famous example of this recycling is the 1974 agreement between the US and Saudi Arabia. This involved channeling Saudi petrodollars into US treasuries. Over the years, Saudi Arabia used its oil earnings to pay for development projects and defense deals with the US. Such moves have helped Saudi Arabia bolster its infrastructure and military power, clearly illustrating how the dollar's status as the preferred currency plays out on the world stage.
Today, countries with significant oil exports continue to adopt similar strategies by investing through sovereign wealth funds. This modern approach has gained importance over time. For instance, sovereign wealth funds allow oil-rich nations to diversify their investments across global markets. By doing this, they generate more sustainable incomes independent of oil price fluctuations, supporting long-term stability and growth.
Norway provides a fitting example with its massive sovereign wealth fund. This is the world's largest, and its performance is remarkable. By wisely investing their oil money, Norway has secured an annual return of 16.1%. Such strategic financial planning ensures that petrodollars contribute positively to the country's economic health. If you're interested in getting transcripts of all the episodes or supporting what we love to do, consider joining us by clicking on Join for a membership.
Norway's sovereign wealth fund is an excellent example of how petrodollars can be transformed into long-term investments. This fund, the largest of its kind in the world, is worth about $1.5 trillion. Established to manage Norway's surplus oil revenues, it invests both within Norway and globally. The goal is to ensure that future generations can benefit from today's oil wealth. By doing this, Norway showcases how wisely investing petrodollars can secure a stable economic future.
The fund is known for its diversified portfolio, which includes significant holdings in major global companies like Microsoft, Apple, and Alphabet. In fact, about 71% of its assets are in stocks. The choice of these stocks reflects a strategy to focus on strong, established companies that offer considerable returns. By doing so, the fund not only secures its capital, but also benefits from the growth of these leading technology giants. This demonstrates a well-planned approach to petrodollar management.
During 2023, inflows into Norway's sovereign wealth fund from the state's oil revenues were just over $67 billion. The fund achieved an impressive annual return of 16.1%. This remarkable performance highlights the effective strategies behind the fund's investments. Such returns ensure that the fund can continue to support Norway's economy even when oil prices fluctuate. The success of these investments is a testament to how strategic use of petrodollars can drive financial stability and prosperity.
Norway's approach illustrates a ripple effect on global financial markets. By allocating funds broadly and strategically, it influences investment trends and economic growth beyond its borders. The country's focus on responsible and varied investments also serves as a model for other oil-rich nations. They can learn to use their oil revenues not just for immediate needs, but to build a sustainable financial future, influencing economies around the globe in positive ways.
In recent times, online discussions have raised speculations about the stability of the petrodollar system. Many people wonder if a collapse is imminent due to various global shifts. Voices in these discussions suggest concerns about rising powers challenging the petrodollar. They point out factors like the U.S. facing stiff competition from emerging economies and the aggressive use of economic sanctions as potential threats to the system's stability.
Yes, indeed, there are several dynamics at play here. The relations between leading OPEC nations and groups like BRICS are also under scrutiny. As countries like China and Russia consider alternative currency settlements, the question arises, can the US dollar maintain its dominance? Despite these challenges, the US dollar continues to hold a substantial lead as a global reserve currency. Economic experts still see its position as largely secure for the time being.
It's important to note that while we've seen a drop in the share of U.S. dollar reserves, its role is still significant. According to the International Monetary Fund, in the first quarter of 2024, the U.S. dollar made up about 58% of global currency reserves. This figure is much higher compared to other currencies such as the euro, yen, and others. Such statistics reaffirm the dollar's major role worldwide and its ongoing necessity in global trade and reserves.
Absolutely. If we compare this with the euro, which holds 20%, or the yen and pound with even smaller percentages, the dominance of the US dollar is clear. The Chinese renminbi, often discussed in these contexts, accounts for only a small part of global reserves. This demonstrates the continuing preference for the dollar over other currencies for settling international transactions and holding reserves, given its global reach and economic influence.
With rising interest in global currency exchanges, people often wonder if the petroyuan could rival the petrodollar. Many speak of this potential shift toward Chinese currency in oil trading. However, it's essential to note that the yuan, or renminbi, is not freely convertible like the US dollar. China's central bank actively manages its exchange rate, which limits the yuan's accessibility and use in global trade compared to the widespread acceptance of the dollar.
Indeed, while the petroyuan could seem appealing, the US dollar's stability and international presence remain unmatched. The dollar manages to secure its place because of its ability to be easily invested worldwide. Investments can even be made in the euro-dollar market, which facilitates short-term dollar deposits in European banks. In contrast, investment opportunities with the yuan are limited to China and largely depend on the approval of the Chinese government.
The long-standing domination of the US dollar as the global reserve currency underpins why it remains primary in oil deals. Its role in the global economy extends beyond just oil. It's about a reliable store of value recognized worldwide. The petrodollar system worked decades before non-US oil exporters became prominent, and it continues to do so. While competitors like the euro and yuan exist, none match the robust infrastructure backing the dollar.
That's right. The advantages of using the US dollar stretch significantly in global financial systems. Its vast reach in investment markets ensures that oil suppliers can protect and grow their revenues effectively. Although debates will continue about other currencies replacing the dollar, the comprehensive network supporting the dollar's status, both in stability and liquidity, is unmatched. These qualities maintain the petrodollar's stronghold despite new economic shifts.
As we discuss petrodollars, it's crucial to recognize their role in positive ways, such as investments and development programs. When used correctly, petrodollars can bring about significant improvements. For instance, when these dollars are invested in economic development, they can lead to job creation and infrastructure improvements. Projects like these bolster economies, providing lasting benefits that go beyond just financial gains.
However, there are negative aspects associated with petrodollars that we can't ignore. In some situations, they have been used to fund repression, spark arms races, or even fuel conflicts. When countries channel their oil revenue into military growth rather than humanitarian projects, the consequences can be dire. It raises crucial questions about the ethical use of these funds and how they can sometimes embolden oppressive regimes.
We only need to look at a few recent examples to see these negative aspects in action. The murder of journalist Jamal Khashoggi by Saudi agents is one such instance, showing how petrodollars might support regimes overlooking human rights. Similarly, Russia's actions in Ukraine have brought up concerns about petrodollars used to sidestep sanctions and support interventions abroad. Such controversies highlight the impact of petrodollars in potentially safeguarding questionable activities.
Indeed, these situations illustrate the power of petrodollars in the global arena. Their influence is not just limited to economic impacts, but extends into geopolitical realms as well. These dollars can bolster economies, but they also pose questions about global stability and the ethics of their use. It's essential to consider how this substantial economic power can be balanced with responsible and justifiable applications to avoid fostering negative global outcomes.
Let's dive into some of the myths and facts about petrodollars, especially recent rumors about Saudi Arabia and its pricing of oil in US dollars. Speculation often arises in social media, where stories about secret deals can capture public imagination. However, these rumors frequently lack solid backing. Earlier this year, there was talk about Saudi Arabia potentially dropping the use of US dollars for oil transactions, but this was quickly debunked as inaccurate.
Yes, that's a great point. Our world is full of rumors, and it's particularly important to challenge such narratives with careful analysis. Experts have identified several flaws in these speculations. For starters, there was never a formal agreement between Saudi Arabia and the US regarding oil pricing that included an expiration date. Such stories lead to misinformation, making it crucial to dig deeper into these accounts to understand their authenticity.
Absolutely. Public reaction to such rumors can be intense, especially when the media begins to speculate on economic implications. For example, false rumors about petrodollars have previously led to increased Google searches and debates about the end of the US dollar's standing. While some may think this signals financial instability, the reality is very different. It shows how easily public opinion can be swayed without all the facts.
True. And these situations underline the need to reaffirm the position of the US dollar as the dominant reserve currency. Despite occasional fluctuations and concerns, the dollar remains crucial globally. Its widespread use in international trade and as a preferred currency for reserves continues to establish its stronghold. Even with emerging challenges, the robust systems supporting the dollar's use stand firm against such myths and speculations.
Remember, your thoughts matter to us. Please like this episode and subscribe if you enjoyed the discussion. We value your opinions, so feel free to leave a comment or share the podcast with your friends who might be interested in the economics of the oil industry. Thank you for tuning in, and we hope you'll join us next time for more informative content.